What's up, Digidestins? Did you hear the bell? That means it's another day in the market watch. So without further ado, let's dive into this video and talk about some cards to get you in if you are just looking at them going up, but also to card boxes that might be good for somebody that's trying to get their kids into the game. That's just decent if you guys aren't buying singles, but kids like to open packs, right? Boxes and product and advanced decks and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So first off, we know how this goes always. We have Grace Novamon, textured Animal Coliseum, not Animal Crossing. God. $35 sitting right now. Don't buy into this. This thing's going to come down. To be honest with you, the deck, as much as I want to hype the deck up, it takes a lot of luck to sometimes pull off a lot of good shenanigans, but we'll see if it actually holds up later and on. Then we have Dianamon from Animal Crossing EX05, $10 a pop. Don't buy into this. This is not worth it. Yes, I know. Just wait patiently. She's going to be like a $2 card. Apollomon, same thing. It's $10 right now. Not worth it. And Card Market doesn't have any copies online yet, so just guys wait it out. Then we have Galamon from Versus Royal Knights, kind of holding strong at this point, and it's going to stay in this $24 range, proving to be Versus Royal Knights' better secret. So Galamon's just going to always be an expensive card. That skipped over. That was not supposed to. Europe side looking like 24s to 27 range. This card is just so versatile. It's good for Galantmon, splashable in any red deck you want to play. Any set con deck will play this. Any red yellow hybrid should play this. There's a lot of potential, and I want to see where that goes in the future. Skull Knightmon, 3rd anniversary Digimon promotional card, $6.37 and climbing. No reason for this. Yes, I know it helps Bagra and it helps, you know, Twilight, aka the Knightmon deck. Dark Knightmon deck. Do I think it justifies its price? No, I think this thing should come down a lot more. But we'll have to see. Just wait it out. There's no real deck kind of just pushing for it right now. Europe side, €9 up to like 14s pretty quickly. Crazy. I don't see the hype and I don't see the appeal. Skull Knightmon's really good. Don't get me wrong. You don't get to play a tamer with a mono from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then save. Is not bad. It's a great effect. I just don't know if it'll hold. Morphemon cooling off after that high-end buyout. Morphemon definitely coming down. We'll make sure you start picking these up at these prices because I do have a feeling Morphemon's going to go up. There's no way Morphemon doesn't go up at this point. Being at 6s and 7s is not a terrible price, but pick up one every week because once they start showing the end game with Morphemon getting more support, you should be afraid. Europe side looking like €8.95 up to 10s pretty quickly. Hold strong in 10s for a good while. There are multiple copies at $9.75. Well, €9.75, but you know, Morphemon's just really good. I just feel like there's going to be something to the Eosmon deck, and you're going to need this card. Bellastar or Bielstar, depending on what iteration or what you're reading, but for us it's Bellstar. This girl here is starting to tick up. Deck's still good even with restrictions in place. The deck's going to do what it wants to do. Upama definitely helped. I think it's Upamon. Ukamon helped the deck out in a way that it was surprising. The deck now has a speed tempo, gets more draws, and just has more potential. I think the deck is pretty strong, and we'll have to see from going forwards. We're looking at 1376, 13 goes to 14s, 15s. Most of the prices here in the Europe market is looking like in the 16 range. You get multiple copies. So don't sleep on the deck. I think it's pretty solid, even with the restrictions in place. Agumon Official Tournament Pack, Volume 11. Kind of cooling off. Good to see it come down. I'll probably pick it up once it's 5s, because I'd rather pick it up at 5s, not these 8 prices. Excuse me, I did not tell you to skip it. Let's see, Europe sides, €1. Guys, you got it dirt cheap, pretty solid. Card is going to be good because it's a foil Agumon that you want to have. Lanamon across time pre-release card. It's going up to 20s. No surprise here. It's just blue hybrid shenanigans. Nah, just kidding. This is just because it's very splashable in multiple decks. One, you can play it in your, guess what, Mirage deck. You can play it in your All Force deck. You can play it in blue hybrid, of course. But there's plenty of ways of playing this. This card will always see some sort of functionality. Being in the 20s, no surprise for the pre-release stamp of Lana. Lana on the Europe side, you guys are almost gone. 6 euros, 50 cents, 8 euros, 10 euros. Oof. Then we have XVmon across time pre-release card, BT12. If you guys had this sitting in your binder for the longest time, probably time to move it. People are buying in the 10s, maybe listed for 15. You might see some sales there. Definitely a good time to sell this XVmon if you guys have no intentions on playing that going forwards. The card with the new Pyildras are actually really scary. Europe side, 1 euro, 60 cents, 2 euros. Kind of plenty of stock in the low end, but compared to our 20s too, you guys got a sweet spot. Probably pick this up. Gaomon Dimensional Phase pre-release card, holding strong in the 750 range and kind of holding strong there. We got plenty on the low end and then jumps up to 10s and then bops up to higher. I'm not surprised here. The pre-release card makes it the max rarity card. So Europe side, you guys are on low stock too. Oof. Gaomon is because best deck and one of the best decks in the format. We're looking at 3 euros, 5 euros, 7 euro range. Crazy. That's very high and pricey. Okuamon X Antibody. No surprise here. Holding strong with only 7 listings, but there's at least a good listings until it reaches 12s and then disappears off the market. The only way you're getting a full playset from one seller is if you're willing to pay $100. Do not do that. Just skip out on it then. Europe side looking like 2 euros, 4 euros, up to 6s pretty quickly. So, I mean, the card's going to see play in the new Grand Quagamon style of play that BT16 is introducing. So we'll have to see if that continues. Wyvern's Breath, pre-release card, Gonzo, nothing left. If you guys wanted to get this pre-release card to max rarity, I'm sorry, it's gone. Last sold in the 4s, which is fine, but it's just gone. Europe side, you got plenty of stock. Looking like 2 euro range up to 4 pretty quickly, and then just peters out around like 7 euros 50 cents. Crazy. Resurgent booster. Now, why am I bringing up this booster box? It is $40 a pop online right now. This is a good Christmas gift kind of situation. What do I mean like this? This is good to give for anybody that is new to the card game. And I mean new. I'm not talking about, you know, the person that's been in like for 2 to 3 years now. Resurgent booster is not for them. New players that are trying to get your kids into the game, this is a good cracking open. There's a lot of super rares. There's a lot of stuff that kids will get hyped for because they're higher rarity cards. This is really good for that kind of media. You know, this is what you want for kids to buy. I think this is a good buy-in. I think $40 is not a terrible ask-in. So, you know, on the Europe side, you guys are still holding strong in the 80 range. I don't recommend it in the 80. If you're in the English, definitely. So when it comes down to Christmas, you have at least 3 slots you're going to have at least an alternate art or 2. One alternate art is going to be one of these cards, which instantly gets you a little bit of your money back. And that can be from, you know, unless you get Shin Mumsy and Darabi, then you're kind of in the bad spots. But if you get an Artorias or Sirius, you're at least you made $10 there, which makes your box worthwhile. Hero's a hard card to pull, so if you pull that, it's not bad. TK is definitely solid. You know, Ty reprint. You know, there's a lot of good cards in the reprint section that just helps out the overall grand scheme of things. You know, pulling a Lucimon is not a bad pull. You know, Omnimon's War. You know, there's all good cards that you can pull from this set that, yes, they're not overly expensive when you add it up, but, you know, you get the black mem boosts, you get the memory boosts easily in this set. You know, kids that are interested in getting the game, this is a good starting point. This is not meant for older players. It's been around since day one. You were supposed to buy the singles, basically, at the end of the day. I mean, this is great for kids. This is great for people just starting out, trying to get into the game. I think Resurgent Booster is great for anybody that is starting out in the game. I think it's one of the good ones. And this is what we're going to talk about for holiday gifts. This is pretty solid for starting out. Europe's, well, we're going to talk about Dragonic Roar Boosters. This is another one. This one has potential to be really solid, meaning there's a lot of good stuff that can be. You know, Dragonic Roar, even on for the 30s, you're kind of in the same thing in the Europe side, which is not bad. You're kind of matching us. So we're not, this is a good pickup for the holiday. For new players. New players is key here. You know, pulling an Imperial Digimon Fighter mode is really solid. That gets you one step closer to having the deck built and ready when, you know, BT16 comes out. Pulling Examon is really powerful of a deck that is fun to play with. It's not going to say make competitive decks here. This is just to get you in. You know, stuff in this set can actually be really solid too. You know, pulling Dora Brick really sets you up for a Dora Brick deck that is really powerful. The deck still can do what it wants to do. Then you have like Metallic Dramon. You know, if you pull that, that helps you with if you're going to build, you know, a Pop-Delicticmon, depending on how badly they kill the deck outright, that could change out how you want to play. You know, pulling a Metallic Dramon, yeah, these are all like dollars and stuff like that, but great for kids to open up. You know, start collecting, or somebody new trying to get into the game. There's really just a lot of stuff to work with. You know, the rare section is what you're trying to look for anyway. You know, there's Commandramon support in here that definitely will transfer over, and 2 boxes will will get you your play set of rare and under. So that definitely helps you out there. You don't have to be fighting too much on it. So I think that's something you want to take into. And if you want to build Imperial Dramon, you know, the red purple one getting ready for BT16, it's all here. You know, that's stuff to keep in mind. And even in like decks with, you know, the 4 Great Dragons, depending on what they do with the 4 Great Trial of the 4 Great Dragons deck in the future, the deck could see a lot of fun play. You know, stuff like this is what you want to look at when you're kind of just trying to build your own style. The X's aren't always overly competitive, but they're enough to keep somebody interested to start out and get yourself going. So I think this is a good holiday buy-in as well. Same thing with the alternate being booster box, alternate beings. You know, this box is like 50 a pop, which is not terrible. I think it's actually a good price here. Europe side looking like 54s, 60s. You know, there's a lot of gambles. If you pull Shine Rune mode, you're kind of in a great spot. You basically paid your box tenfold. Your box pretty easily. But this is what I want to talk about. There's cards like Black Mega Gargo in the set that helps with the Alliance, that builds up in the Double Typhoon advanced deck that we get down in April, I think. So, you know, you got the Kokumons, then you have like the Alliance pieces that you're gonna want to grab anyway, that are the low end, like Terriermon Assistant and Terriermons and you know, the Kokomon. You know, stuff like this definitely helps out. Lopmon. You know, there's Alliance theme here that can definitely do something with that support. If you guys want to build the big bunnies, you can build big bunnies. There's no reason not to really worry about that. So, you know, this is just planning ahead for the future and just to get kids into the game. The Alliance deck is dirt cheap, and you should be able to build that deck with just 2 boxes at the end of the day without real trouble. You know, the deck is not going to do anything competitive, but it sets you up to get ready for the next when Double Typhoon drops and the Alliance deck is actually a little bit better. It has more legs to stand on. So stuff like that is something to think about, especially when you're trying to get people into the game. I think this is a good set to get people into the game and not somebody longevity. And the fact that also most of the, let's say you want to build Blue Flare. Blue Flare is actually kind of self-contained in the set. Yes, it'll be Gray's Nightmon right off the bat. It's terrible, but you can move it over to Blue Flare instantaneously by just picking up some of the older stuff for a lot cheaper. You know, instantly, boom, the deck is super playable then. You know, it's just stuff like this is to take into account. And I think, you know, alternate being Resurgent Booster and Dragonic Roar are all great Christmas gifts for new players. Older players, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. If you can get a TCG player gift card, get a TCG player gift card. Let them buy the singles they want instead of gambling with it. But boxes wise, this is really good. And then finally, a really good starting point is the advanced deck, starter deck, Beelzemon. This deck is what you want to have in the long run, just because this is a good starting point. Like similar to Double Typhoon, this comes with a lot of good stuff going into it and has a lot of potential. You know, being in the 25 range, 2 of these will get your kid competitively ready for the format. You know, that's kind of what you want to do. You know, think about competitive wise, this is really solid. You know, you get 2 rival barrages in one deck. Now you're up to 4. You know, reprints are really solid, but you don't have to worry too much on it. But I mean, comes with it all foils, so it's very shiny, especially if you guys want to take them to locals and have them do well. Then all you have to do is buy everything from BT12, and the deck kind of just self-contained. You know, stuff like this is really solid to think about, and I think really at the end of the day, you have a lot of potential with this deck. So guys, what did you think of the Market Watch? I know this seemed like it was a little bit of different, but I figured with good for starting players was a really good importance for this video, because some people just don't know around the holidays what to get. So guys, hopefully you hit this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.